switch. Great. Okay, that's working. Okay, cool. So I've been struggling a little bit with this. Oh, headphones are falling apart. So I'd been struggling a little bit with this the last day or two. Yesterday I worked some more on it and a little bit more today, and I felt like it was close, and I was, but it just wasn't really working out. So I called in the big guns, my homie, my brother from another mother, Tropical Trevor, explained the problem to him. That's the thing, to be able to explain a problem. You know, you've got to have worked on it for a while at least. And he wrote a brilliant solution in pseudocode. Well, what he calls pseudocode is almost complete C sharp. So thank you so much, Trevor. I had to hack a few things together to get my existing code to work with it, but it did. And I'm going to show it in a moment. There's going to be more problems to solve later on because this is just a very small test zone, basically. Yeah, you've got to start somewhere. And at least the code is working now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press play. I'm going to show it in action. And I'm going to run a little bit through the code that Trevor wrote, just out of his head, because some people can do that. And then we're going to carry on, expanding the level and solving other problems, basically. But there's a good framework now. I refactored, I cleaned up, so it's a good clean base. I'd rather not be doing that stuff in the stream. So without further ado, let's take a look at it. So we got the squad manager here, like we're working on for the last day or two. And this is that function, generate loot locations list. Not the best one. It should be like generate final loot route or something like that. But hey, it's okay. Have these lists. Here I ask the locations manager, how many common loot zones do we have? How many uncommon loot zones? How many rare zones? Let me make it a little bit bigger. And then because we don't want to change the referenced list of the locations list, we just iterate through that and add each entry to the shuffled locations list. And we call the shuffle list function, which uses a sorting function. No, this is not. This is just a shuffle list on the transforms. And here we initialize how many common loot, uncommon, and rare loot locations we should add. We just put them all to 0. And the position that we use to remeasure has to start from the squad manager. So that's the position where the squad spawns. So we need to say, okay, the very first position that we're going to remeasure everything against is this, basically. So in short, get this position, generate the loot list, sort them by distance, find the one that's closest, store that. That's where we're going to next. And then we get that location and we make that the new position that we're now going to remeasure the rest of the loop with. And that's the bit of code that Trevor helped me with. I discovered today, of course, that when you use random.range with an int, you have to add 1 to the maximum number for it to reach it. So if you do 1 and 2, like here, it will only ever be 1. Okay, you have to add 1 for it to be able to reach 1 and 2. So I just did this thing called random in offset, and that's just my way of knowing I have to add 1 to everything. So like I said, I've cleaned up the code, refactored it a bit. It's a lot less code now. So we say here, if the looting strategy is stealthy looting, we're going to get 2 to 4 common and 1 to 2 uncommon, and we're not going to get any rare. And I know I declared this up there, but this is just so it's nice and clean and readable. And we go on like that. So mixed looting, so we get 1 to 3 common, 2 to 3 uncommon, 1 to 2 rare. It could be 0 to 2 rare as well. Don't know. Aggressive looting, they're definitely going to go for more of the rare stuff. And then I just added these extras like only commons, only uncommons, only rares, just so I can try things out and debug them. This is the same as yesterday. So we get that shuffled list, and we get the length of that, and we iterate through it. And we basically just say, if the location type is equal to common, and total common loot locations to add is greater than 0, then we add that to the generated loot locations list and we take one off this. So that's just our way of adding common, uncommon, and rare. And this is like like a Tropical Trevor support service code below. Let's get a quick drink. So it's such a simple, elegant solution. And it works really, really good. So it uses a while loop, and we start with this final loot location root list. That is the list that I use for the squad to go from one location to another. So of course, when we start, it's uninitialized, so it's got a length of 0. So as long as that is less than the generated loot list, then we're going to continue with this loop. So we get a distance of, 10 million. Best index -1, that's invalid. And then we go through the generated loot locations list. And I completely forgot about this function, contains. So if the final root locations list contains, I always forget about this function, the one that we're looking at, we just get out, we don't do anything. If that's not the case, we get the distance between this is the squad transform position right now at the beginning, and we compare that to the current loot location in the generated list. And if distance is less than best distance, which will always be the case for the first thing, because it's like 1 million, then best distance becomes distance. And then we store the best index. Now we just do that for the whole list, so we end up with the best index and the best distance variables. And now we go in here and we say final loot locations root list add, and then we get the generated loot location list and we use the best index. Brilliant, thank you, Trevor. And the position, because now we're finished, right? We've iterated through everything. The position becomes now that position that we just pushed through that location. So this one. And if best index equals -1, root loot generation woes, then we've got a problem. Okay. I then added this, if show debug numbers on loot root, then it basically gets this text mesh pro, and it adds the number of which one of the loot locations that it is. So that's enough blabbing on. That's the code in general. I said I was going to press play first, but I forgot. So let's see it run. So I'm going to go to Squad Manager and let me pick Stealthy Looting. So this shouldn't create any rares. And just for the people that haven't been following it before, green is common, yellow is uncommon, red is rare. And I'm just going to type say hi if you drop by. Okay. Because I have no idea who's watching. Hold up. I don't know if they're like, I swear. There's some people there that I didn't see before. Let's see. Okay. It's not all anime. But Sony PlayStations. Okay, hi there. All right. So let's press play, see what we get. So Squad Manager is here in the bottom right corner. And as you can see, this is their first location, 0. When they get within like 5 units of it, they go to the next one. All right. Okay, 0. And now they're heading to 1. They're heading to 2, then 3, then 4. And I wrote the basic code yesterday for if they've gone through all of the loot locations that they should then extract, which means get out of the level. Now, of course, this is just very, very small because it's a test environment and I don't want to wait 5 million years for them to run around the entire map. So, let's just watch how it does over here. So far, so good. And I discovered why the scripts that I was writing, the cover colliders wasn't working. More on that in a little bit. But so far, so good. And, try and remember this is the setup that they've got. So when it hits 4, it should go over here to great. Okay. Looking good. Okay. So basically they then get out. This extraction code should also use the same functions as the move to loot location, because now they just pick a straight line, the straightest line they can, and just run there, which is not good. They should go in cover and get out everywhere. They should just do it the same way. Move to cover, to cover, to cover as they go to final destination. But awesome. This works. And the best part is now if I press play, I'm going to get completely different setup. There we go. Now this doesn't look ideal, and that is literally because 0 and 3 are probably really, really similar with the distance, and 0 is just a little bit closer. You know, so again, this is like a bunched up set of loot locations. It is not going to be like this in the final map. So if we go to environment, sorry, here, we click this and we enable it. You know, you have to imagine quite a few of these loot locations are spread over a map of this size, basically. You know, so this is all just bunched together for playtesting purposes. So cool. Let's just take another look. Whoa. Just the wrong key there. But so far so good. And because I discovered what the problem was with the cover colliders not being removed correctly, I barely had them get stuck on anything now, which is a joy. I discovered this yesterday. I'll show that in a minute. So yeah, it's working okay. So like now, for example, I could pick squad manager and I could say, hey, I only want you to do aggressive looting. Where the majority of the places are the rare, could be 1 or 2, we'll see. So look, that's one possible approach. Let's go here. That's another one, I pick 2. Okay, but you know, there's 1 or 2 problems with this that I'm thinking about. So it's like here, for example, they miss this loot location, like right at the beginning. Do I want to solve that right now? No. I've been working on this a lot for the last few days in stream and with my time. And the framework is there and it's enough to play test with. And I don't want to go too far into it right now because I don't want to write this code to all work perfectly on this part of the map. I've made these mistakes before where you just keep working and working and working, and then you zoom out to something like that, and the same code just doesn't really work as good. So yeah, this is looking good. There we go. Okay, so that's great. That's awesome. What's next? Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna shift this up a little bit. I need to see. Actually, maybe not. I was thinking of, it works right now. I was just thinking of getting all of this, these loot locations, and spreading them over this whole thing here. There's actually no point right now. It works. It's okay. You know, and the thing I'm really happy about is you do not end up. Let's put this microphone a bit closer. You don't end up with predictable paths, which actually might not be a bad thing. I should probably write some code that the first one should always be the closest one to you. But I'm a little bit worried that if I do that, and say there's like 3 squads or 2 in the bottom of a corner of a map, they're always going to meet each other there. And that's not what I want. Okay, I'm just gonna take a look at this one more time. Now it should recover from this invalid path. There we go. Great. You know, I was thinking the other day, like, oh, that's not so good. But actually, it's not so weird. Like when I'm playing a first-person shooter, I'm not always moving. Sometimes I stop, get my back to something, I turn around, and I look. So it should head to 2. It's great. It should head to 3. Do this magical voodoo slide over the floor thing. Oh, yeah, now they're heading to 4. Okay. Cool. So something I've got to do later on is that you know, I definitely take some inspiration from Escape from Tarkov with some of the mechanics that I've got in mind because I really love that game. So I don't want squads to only have one extraction point. In Tarkov, I think you can have like maybe 2 or 3 or something like that. And you know, most of the time they're kind of like on the opposite side of the map or kind of in the middle and stuff like that. So I don't know if I want to do that like right now. I could do, but I don't think it's important. It'd just be the same kind of thing. Like once they've hit the last loot location, normally you'd say what would be the closest extraction zone, and then head for that one basically. But that's something I want to work on later. So this is cool. So now what I've got to do is I need to get this in-game items. Is it there? Really? Did I put it over here? Like, no way. It looks like I did. Is it just that tiny? Or am I missing something here? What is going on? All right, those guys are all over there, but hey, what is going on? What is happening here? This was just saying that it was here. Okay, let's just put these down on 0. It's all horribly clumped up now on each other. Let's just move them all a bit global. Let's just try this out. Great. Okay, so I've got some items there. Okay. So it's been a while since I looked at this stuff. Let's take a peek. Okay. All right, didn't do this yet. Didn't really think about how to approach it. I'm already seeing a few problems come up here. So basically, you know, it's let me just check this out. So can I hit a wall there? Come on. Great. Where is this? Loot boxes is in environment. Okay. was it like 500 something? I just missed the map by a lot. Oh, wow. Okay. That explains it. So I think there's like two kinds of design problems here. Okay, let's just think about how I'm going to do this. So there's the squad manager. I'm just going to disable all the locations except this one. Because I just basically don't want them. Is it this one? 6. Okay. Just going to disable these. Disable these. I do not want to wait the whole time for it to render, basically. Let's go to the squad manager and let's just put it here. What I want to check right now is just that it doesn't freak out with only one place and it just runs down. Well, that'll do for me. Okay. It's going to run down. So there's two kinds of things that the AI has to do, and I don't even want to think about getting it to work with the squad right now, because that's just a little total extra level of complicating things. I still want all these soldiers to kind of be autonomous, like as in they just do things by themselves and they recover from errors by themselves. It just makes it way easier to code. So there's two kinds of items. There's the loose ones on the floor, and there's the chests, or the loot boxes, or whatever you want to call them. So let's put this one here. Just in the space, basically. I'll do these items in a bit. Let's just disable them for now. All right, so I'm trying to think right now, like, what would be a good way to do this? 0 minus 22. Minus 2. Hold it. Oh. Hello. Cool. All right, so I'm just going to put 2 of them there, so I know these are going to work. Let's rotate it, put it against the wall in case that's going to cause any problems that we need to solve. All right. So normally, I don't even remember how this works right now with the player. So let's just do that for a minute, so I can remember what I built to interact with these loot containers. Hey, what is that? Entry.items list.count. Okay, that is, I think, because Unity work. All right, let's check this. Where? Okay, hold it. That's the fade object. How do I do this? Ah, there we go. Inventory holder. items to spawn, random items. Okay. So does this have one? No, it doesn't. Okay, so I need to just copy this. Let's open this prefab up. Let's paste it as a child. Okay, so the inventory holder there. Let's remove these items. I just want to figure out how to just do this again. Items. Do I have something called items? Inventory items. There we go. All right. So let's go to this inventory holder. I want to move it up to the top, actually. Okay. And no. Works like that. Okay. So be it. I want to just put guns in this one. There we go. All right. So this one should have 3 guns. Very good. And this one. Cool. Okay, so we've got 2 different chests. So if I'm a player, I think I just basically, I don't know if it's left click it or right click it. Let's go to the game view here. Is it just left click? Let me pause this for a minute. I really don't remember how I coded this. Did I put it in input controls, which is not the best place, but hey. Select loot container and open when closed. I already said it. I feel like there should be another script. Refactor later when it's finished. Select loot container, open and close. If input, left mouse button, and the squad manager selected unit. Okay. So we cast array from the camera. And if it hits the loot container mask, physics layer, I think, hold it. Yeah, this one, loot container, we got that collider around it, okay. So if we hit that, I don't know why we checked the tag as well, just to be sure. So, just to be sure, I think. Current loot container equals arrayHit.collider.transform. Where do we use this? Okay. I think that's just for debugging purposes. Cool. Okay. Now, this huge amount of code that you see here is mainly UI code, if I'm correct. So what we do here is we say if distance between current point and destination is less than nav agent stopping distance threshold plus 1. Bit of a weird number. That 1 is to account for the width and the depth of the chest, because normally the stopping distance threshold is like 0.5. If the chest is like 2 units wide, 1 unit wide, it's never going to reach its destination. So we say if we're within range and we've stopped, it's a very important one, and move unit.velocity magnitude equals 0. And the lid hasn't been opened, and we're not showing the UI, then we're next to the container, and we say soldier interacting with this container is this. And you're just watching me read my code back here, that's all I know. Okay, yeah, the UI stuff, that took a while. Let's try it out. Let's see what it does. I don't really remember it that good. And he's just walking through it because we didn't rebake the nav mesh. Okay, what's going on there? Okay, cool. So I've got to find a way to automate this. Basically, I've got this thing here called the Canvas Manager for the squad. There's only one because there's only ever going to be one player looking at it, and the AI doesn't need it. But you know, I don't feel like coding the AI to use the UI. That would just be a horrible mess because I can just check the inventory of the AI over here in the hierarchy. Ah, wow, that's a good one. So I already see something that's going to be a problem later. Let's go to prefabs, units. Where is it? I'm very sure I had, here we go, inventory holder. Okay, so I need to copy this. I don't know if I need to make a, hopefully I don't need to make a new version. I'll check that in a minute. So we're gonna go to prefabs, units, soldier unit AI3. Where did I paste it? What level on the hierarchy? It's a child of soldier unit logic. Okay. Oh boy, I already have one. Okay, brilliant. I already thought about it and then forgot about it and then remembered. Okay, so let's just get back to, I need to rebake the nav mesh. Clear and bake. Great, that worked there. All right, let's try again. I'm not sure why he's stopping when I re-click, but hey. Okay, I can move those over. Can still keep it open. Go over here. Right, that's basically what we want the AI soldier to be able to do. That's it in a nutshell. And the chest should just stay open. Can I can reopen them, okay. I have this little pause now, don't know why. I didn't make it yet, that you can put stuff back in the chest. That's an extra level of logic I didn't get to yet. One step at a time. Right, so let's just run over here. Just empty this chest. I just want to check now if I right click here. Those rifles are flying away. No idea where to. Here we go. Where'd it go? That's falling to infinity and beyond. Not sure why. That ain't a problem to solve right now, though, because I'm working on something else. All right. So how am I meant to do this? That's a good question. So the thing I'm thinking about right now is like the easiest thing to code. I'm trying to think about this now. It's going to really be a complicated thing if I'm going to make it based upon the AI sensing things. So when I'm playing, I look at that loot chest and I click it and I go over and I make these choices. You know, we're trying to emulate what a player can do with an AI. It's a lot of complicated code to say what's within their field of view. Do they see this? I mean, this is the easiest situation. It's like out in the open. But say I'm going to do this building, for example. I'm going to go in there, and it's going to be filled with cover and everything. It's like how do we say go around and find loot? I think it's a really complicated thing to do. So there's got to be a really simple solution, as always. Hmm. I'm thinking that, you know, here I use a sphere, for example, but it's probably better to use a box. Boxes I can make the size of a room or a building. You know, so I could use spheres for loot outside or boxes. It doesn't really matter. Boxes fit better, I'm thinking. So the thing I'm thinking about here is, let me go here and just try this out. Let's try a common loot location box. This is a sphere. Great. Okay, so I just need to make a rough prefab quickly. Actually, I'm doing this in the worst way possible. 3D object. Let's get a cube. Cool. Let's get that. Where are you, buddy? There. I don't know why it's there, but hey. Put that to 0. That is a pain because I want to have the bottom of it. So let's just do it. Whoa, that's not what I want. Let's just go to Tools, Pro Builder window. This just to me is the fastest way to do it. So we're going to say new shape, cube, blah. Let's just make it 1 by 1 by 1. Great. No, 1. Okay, click somewhere else. We're going to lift this up. We're going to pick the underside. And we're going to say set pivot. Great. So then if I put the height on the position on 0, it's on the floor. Cool. So I'm going to get rid of this mesh collider and I'm going to add a box collider. Okay. One minute. It doesn't have a layer yet. Like I don't want the collider on this interfering with stuff, basically. Trying to think of a good way to do this. All right, let's just break it down step by step. Materials, common. Okay, cool. So it's got the same as this. We're going to go here. And we're going to copy this component because I'm just too lazy to do it all from scratch. And paste component as new. How did that work again? It's always that. Cool. Let's get this name. Put it there. Oh, where is this one? I'll put it there. Oh, whoops. Let's get rid of that one. And let's get rid of it as well over here. Locations manager, just get rid of that. Yeah, delete and unpack. And we're going to pull that in. And then we need to select it and we need to open it and make sure that's positioned on 0, 0. Okay. Cool. Common loop, blah, blah, blah. Let's give that a try. So I'm just going to dump this one. Actually, let's just disable it for now. Get this one. Let's add it over here to the loop locations folder. Well, let's pull it here. Yeah, a box is just probably going to be a better shape. Can make it fit better between scenery. So let's say we're going to make it 7 by 10. Yeah, this seems to be better. I should just be able to do this. And now what I should be able to do is this approach here of having the, where do I have them here, loot boxes. They shouldn't be in this holder. And loot locations holder is gonna have to be an environment. So let's see if I can just do this nice and simple. So we want to get these two, and we want to make them children of this collider. That's what I'm thinking about. Let's disable this so we just don't lose the work that I did already. Let's get the loot locations holder. I'll put that in there. That's horrible spelling, Mark. Jesus. Okay, rebake. Yeah, the box is way better. All right, so let's just make this box, this one, this one. If I scale it up now, yeah, that goes from here, and it shouldn't go through the floor. Lovely. Okay, so let's put that on, say, 4, 2. Should cover the height, but the soldier's done. Okay. All right. So far, so good. So now what I want to have is, I want to just check that the AI will go to this, that I didn't miss anything, basically. Let's just do that. And this needs a text mesh, or it's not going to show the debug stuff. Let's copy that. Open it up. Paste as child. Okay, so basically what I want is AI, and I want a 0 to appear there. Already broke something. So there's an obvious difference between this and the other one. I think it should be. Do we even have anything here? Tag location. Whoops, did it in play mode? Let's check this one. This is the tag location. This will probably also needed it. Cool. Let's try again. Need to just get it back to the way it was before. Let's get a 1. Let's not get in a 0. Well, he's plotting the point there. That's good. So I think it's a problem with the text mesh holder. I think I know what it is. Let's go here. Yeah, it's not even there on local. Let's just type empty actually, so no, just so I know that it's not a bad one, that nothing's working then. It's not initialized. Okay, cool. Please become 0. Awesome. Now the number does change the scale of the collider. I don't care right now. Okay, so the thing I'm thinking of, Mr. Goosey, best followers, primes, and viewers on mount viewers. Please. Sounds like I'm getting some bots. What's his name? Mr. Goosey. 8484. Let's block this guy. How do I do that? Block. Yep, off you go. Can I remove this? Okay. All right. Back to here. So this location here should get a list of all the loot that it's got. Because, you know, it could be common loot, and there's going to be another level in there that, you know, there could be like 6 containers or 2 or 3 or 4 loose things lying around, like a gun or this or that. You know, this is what I'm brainstorming right now. So let's just get that working, yeah. So let's get a list of everything there. I think I'm just going to do it as transforms. I think that's how I do it anyway. Yeah, transforms. That's just way easier. So let's make it's going to have to be public. Public list, the type transform. There is a difference between a container and an item, obviously. So I'm gonna just keep it separate for now. Items in loot location list equals new list type transform, and then we're going to say containers. Actually, let's do it like this. Loot location items list, loot location containers list. Okay. So what do we have here? We have the inventory holder, and here we have this. So we need to get this child. I'm just gonna do a serialized field for that. Actually, this is where it's already kind of hitting me. Let's just work on the loot boxes right now. Okay. I mean, I want to build all this by hand. I do not want to make this happen procedurally. That's just like the least of my worries right now. Maybe the contents, but obviously the contents, sorry. So let's just do it like this. A bit of manual work, but that's not okay. That's not a problem. So hold it. Oh wow, really didn't remember all this. Okay. Should I instantiate the items? Okay. This is the animation. Just making a function for that. Didn't look at this for a while. Remember that UI stuff? That was a good 2 days of work at least. So let's just add the container top level. It's going to suck if I have to remember to. Okay. So then we go here, changed, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Unity, oh, come on, there we go. Right, so let's go here. This is the loot location, and it's going to store all of these guys. I'll get some items in a little bit. Just trying to think how to do this. Probably overthinking it. Okay. All right, let's close the stuff I don't need right now. Okay. All right, let's turn on brain. So let's just do it with one. So we're here in this loot location, and we do not want to get this text mesh holder. So we want to find anything with a tag loot container. Okay, let's just do it like that first. So we're going to go through all the children, I think. For int I, our location, and we're going to say transform dot, is it child count? I think that only works on the top level. Actually, debug.log child count is child count. All right, let's just take a quick look at that. Should give me 3. Child count is 3. Okay, cool. Let's just iterate through them. I don't care. It's going to be the top level. If transform dot child. Yeah, I don't want to do it with the string. That's deprecated. Let's just do it like this. Get child I dot prepare tag equals loot container. Whoops. Transform to get child loot container. It's really annoying. So when it's recompiling, it won't jump there because the loading window has focus. So we have loot 2 times. Okay, cool. All right, so it's seen the 2 chests. Okay, now what I've got to do is, so we look here, it's on layer loot container, which is different than item. And we need to go for this one, inventory holder. Do I have a tag for that? Probably not. Okay. Probably a good idea to make one, just to make life easier. Is there a limit? I think there's like 32. Unity tag limit. I do not want Unity 3D tag limit. Okay, so it's layers that there's a limit. So let's not worry about it and throw another tag at it. All right, tag inventory holder. Okay. So what I need to do now is go here, inventory holder, here, inventory holder. Okay. Let's do this. So that gets the loot container. And then we're just going to throw another for loop at it for now. Transform dot get child I dot child count. Ugly code, yeah. Will it work for now? For sure. And let's do this one again. I'll come up with a better way to do this later. This is really not very elegant. Inventory holder. And then we should say, you know, I'm just gonna, whoops. Oh, there's a problem there. portrait count is 0. Messing that one up. I just feel like I'm totally like zoning out right now and not doing this in the best way I could. Let me just look at this one last time. Let's just get the loot containers, yeah? Let's just do that first. Screw this. Control KC. All right. Why am I? That's a ooey. All right. Loot location containers list. Dot add. Transform dot get child. Let's see if this works first. I'm going a bit hard over. All right. So we're working on this common loot location. That's not the one I should be working on. It's this one I should be working on. Be gone. All right. Let's make this one go here. This one go here. Really, what was I doing? That one, really. All right. As we say in Dutch, goedemorgen, good morning. All right. Let's check this one. Should be 2. Great. Thank you. Let's just start with that. Keep it simple. Okay, so we have the 2 containers now. Great. This is just literally to get that list of loot containers. So get all loot containers into, why do I write containers wrong the whole day? Into list. That'll do for now. Okay. I mean, I don't know if I need to do more than this actually. I think I've just been overthinking it. I think the handling of the inventory holder in the chest should be done on the AI logic side, not here. Then this just literally only handles, of course, the location stuff and nothing with the interaction. That'll be way better. Okay, let's just wrap it up a bit for now. So I'm just going to do the same for the loot location items list. So I'm just going to do the same. And we're just going to duplicate this. Get all items into list. And then I think, so slow. There we go. So they have the tag item and a layer item. So item. And then we go here and we say loot location. Times list.add. We're going to call this. And let's just put these items actually as a child of this, just to check it out. Oh, that's not the one I want. It's too big. Just something like a gun or whatever. A box, cool. And let's move it over there. I mean, we just need to reference it basically. Put this one over here. Okay. So I want to see this common loot location box have 2 items and 2 containers. Great. Yeah, They're not labeled correctly, but that's okay. All right, so I think that's getting the pieces in place that I need. And wow, its collider is wrong and its scale is wrong. What is going on over there? What? Of course, the scale of this is messing around with it. Brilliant. All right. But is it just me? Why are these guys not affected? That's got to do with the order that I dragged them in. Okay. Let's move that out. Yeah, okay. That's a problem. I'm going to have to just do a holder for the whole thing so it's separated. That is pain. All right. That's going to be a pain. Okay. Yeah. Always forget how to sort this out. Yeah, that's just going to happen. Okay. What is this? This is obviously something obvious that I'm missing. This is inherited the local size correctly. Oh, I think I know what it is. You're telling me that I've got to add the items as children first. Hold on, what numbers did I have that on? 7 to 10, okay. And then if I go here now. Nope. Okay, this is something to solve another time. I'm not at all sure what that is. I'm gonna have to Google it. But that sucks, basically. I know what I've got to do to fix it. It's just a lot to do right now. Just again, breaking the laws of space-time continuum, basically. All right. Well, basically what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to remake that prefab here, and I'm just going to have to make a parent with a scale of 1, 1, 1, and then add the common loot location box, because before I was using this sphere, which is a uniform scale of 1, 1, 1 or 10, 10, 10, 10. You know, it's so that's why this didn't happen before. So anyway, I'll fix this in the meantime, hopefully before the next stream. So if anybody has been watching and it hasn't only been Twitter bots, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for taking a look. And if you're seeing this on YouTube, also thanks for tuning in and watching. I don't think the videos I make are always going to be super intense and glamorous, but you know, I do think they're a good glimpse into game development, which is sometimes a slow and methodical process where you also sometimes get stuck. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Could do another stream tomorrow, though I think I'm taking a day off. I don't know. Just check the about section or check me on Twitter. That's where I always put the upcoming streams, because they're a little bit irregular. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody else, have a good one and stay healthy, and see you soon. Bye.